Listen. I'm greasy. Okay. Take my eyeshadow off. And my eyebrows. Oh, I missed y'all. Still gotta wash my face. Okay. Y'all remember Sea Breeze? Back in the day, the astringent, you put it on. It's like, ooh, ice cold. Move my nail polish. Well, I don't know. I was like buzzing really, really high last week. And then it was like a plummet. And I was like, whoa, what is that? And it took me a couple of days to get up out of that. And it wasn't just me. It wasn't just me. I could see it across YouTube, and scrolling through it'd be like, I gotta take a break. Diane, 303 High Priestess, my condolences and support to her and her family at this time. Her son transitioned over the last few days. It hurt my heart. Pluto's been working with me. Actually, mind you, Mercury is retrograde and he's in the underworld. So I said, take me with you. Since I've already met Pluto, we're acquainted. Show me the next step. And he revealed to me in a not so specific way, because actually Neptune was there too. Neptune was trying, I could identify it even in the dream. Neptune was doing Neptune's work. And it was like, okay, well, that's not the focal point. Neptune, you're in my first house, but we're going to move you out the way because Pluto has a message for me. And I felt the intensity and I felt the knowing, but it was confirmed later on. A very, very dear friend of mine told me that she'll be transitioning soon. So we talked about it. I've been helping her for 5 years with her journey. So it's been, to see her bloom and blossom the way that she has, it's tremendous. It's tremendous. And it's a lot of love and respect between us. I didn't remember any of that until I hit record. I mean, I remembered it, but it wasn't sitting here. But it was, because it's already been resolved. Transitions, I have to process them another way. Leo in the 8th. So that's my moon. There's a different sense of knowing when it comes to what happens, how it comes to be, and how it is necessary. And it hurts the human heart, but the spirit knows, and that's the disconnect. I want to be sad like normal people, but I find beauty in people returning to source, returning to a more natural state. We spend our whole lives trying to get back to our most natural state. And you think about it, like the moment you are born, you start to depreciate, and the transition is inevitable. So I wouldn't call it a sadness. I can't envelop a sadness around transition because I know the power of it. And that's not in everybody. And I understand this. People who work in those professions, who come across on a daily basis, people who are transitioning, watching the process, there's something built within them that doesn't allow a certain emotional collapse, because the spiritual understanding, or it's just the understanding is ever present. So their reactive nature to something like that isn't as oh what's it? I have to come out that energy. I have to. It's heavy. Shiloh just sent a message. She just responded to a comment on YouTube. I'll get to it in a minute, though. Let me get this video uploaded first. Or recorded. I haven't even started the reading. So, okay. I was wondering. I was like, I haven't touched my other decks. So I see Pluto was just taken. Because I was on some, I get it. Okay. Let me calm down. Past couple days, ODB has been Old Dirty Bastard, Wu-Tang Clan, New York. Those influences have been very present in my environment. From music I'm listening to, in conversation, almost every, well, not every, but 2 nights in a row I get in my car, different times. I was off between these 2 days that it actually happened. I get in my car 2 different times, and I turn on the radio, and Dear Mama's playing. So I know, my mom's coming through with the influence today. She showed up in one of my readings, and she had something to tell me. But as well, his best friend Jada, there's been stuff about her, and I felt it on a personal level. And it was, I don't know if he was pulling my attention towards it to go put my me on it, put my aura on it, whatever, because I kind of accept what's happening with it. I won't go into detail about their personal business, but people are ostracizing characters in the situation because they don't understand what a divine love is, okay, and how this shit works. Other than that, ODB, Old Dirty Bastard, came through. Baby, I like it raw. I can't explain. It just, on my way home is Terror Squad and Jada Kiss and Onyx and just, I don't know. No, on the way to work and the way home, it was just New York. It was Swiss Beats. It was, well, it was just, it was a lot. Just that whole north area, northeast. So, you got Philly, you got Virginia, you got all these different places up there with this influence of music, and it's really been with me. But Scorpio is not Scorpio. Pluto is kind of dictating. This is his deck. He wanted me to Mausoleo. Mausolea. It's an oracle card deck. The Dark Mirror is really, this puts me in the mind of that Damon Tarot when I do the Word to the Wise. This is, if I really get into this energy, it's going to take me a couple of days to recover because I have not flexed the shadow work on a mass scale. I do it for myself. So I'm gonna start with one. I'm just gonna pull it and set it to the side. I want to get into the others. Ooh, it's two. And I almost looked at them, so I put them face down. We'll check them out. And the same card ended up on the bottom. Black flower fragrance. I actually like that because I'm thinking of, I wear black opium. Oracle of Souls. See, by night and by day, there's a drastic difference in my readings. And I was like, damn, during the day, my sun is active, and that's Virgo. Those Leo is ruled by the sun, that's my moon. So, depends on when, what you get. I get it. My house placement. Okay, I get it. I've been saying that a lot lately. I get it. So, let's see. I'm not even focused on a particular question. I just want to know what is present. Oh, yes. That don't feel. Okay. Those two definitely wanted to be a part of this. Okay, he came out anyway. Cool. What's to be is to be. Where's the book? Okay, I'm gonna leave the books there. These two came face down. I have 4 cards from this deck. 2 are face down. And I think I'm gonna wait first, and I'm gonna, because I want to allow Pluto to tell me everything we need to talk about, and then I will seal it with an Angelarium card to restore balance, because I feel like some of these energies that are coming up around this time too with Cancer. Cancer is the baby water sign, and I feel like with this retrograde, people don't, once you've done so many with awareness, you can really ride it different and not let it ride you. It's like, okay, I understand. I get it. I know this setback, that stall, that delay. I caught myself 30, 40 seconds after. Well, no. It was leaving a place a little irritated, but knowing I tried twice, it didn't work. That's for a reason. Let me take my home. Got home. Well, on the way home, I was having a conversation with my higher self, spirit guides, universe, and I'm asking, well, show me then. Show me why it's necessary. And I did see when I got home. And it was like, oh, cool. So I just saved $200 by switching to Geico. No. I saved $200 by fucking waiting. Because it would have been 200 plus whatever. But it was a message in the total 213. 213 occurred more than once that day. And I was like, that's not one of the numbers I typically see. And I was writing in my journal, and I realized because the vibrational number of the day was 13. and I was writing about the dream I'd had, the confirmation I had. Once my friend messaged me and when we spoke about my dream, I shot her a picture from my journal saying that to confirm that I dreamed this last night and wrote it this morning. I woke up abruptly and had to grab my pen and paper. So, and I was like, because I started a meditation ritual that the Peace Dealer has, 33-day rituals, usually started on the start of a new moon cycle or significant like that. But I was compelled to do it that day. So, and it was after 12. So the vibrational number upon me meditating, it was 13. And I'm like, okay, that's death. This is a change. This is something new. This is a transition. And asking for the guidance from Neptune, asking for the guidance from Pluto, from Uranus, from Mercury, who's already in the underworld, with support of my sun to dismantle illusion and so I can see safely. I go and I see and I'm like, okay. I come back and I write down, I'm like, oh, that's where Neptune was. Okay, cool. So, but 213, two deaths. Two. And I don't count the first one I spoke of on this video as one because I don't know her personally. The second one was very precise and deliberate. How's that color doing that? See on the screen over there? Anyway, so I was like, damn. And then, but I thought it was the beginning and the end of the cycle because after 33 days, and I purposely wanted to do this because I'm like, damn, I'll be 33 this year. And that aligns with homie, Yeshua, Jesus, whatever, JC, whatever they want to call him, the ascended master that was, whoever, whatever his name is, the resonance though. I resonate more with his mama, just to be honest. But 33 is significant. My mother was 32 when she had me. So this is going to be my first time experiencing life. Like, it's weird because she had me at 32. So everything prior to that was all her, more or less. Like, my sisters were born at different times, 18 and like 21 or something. And with me being born, no, not 21, when she was like 18. She had my brother when she was 21. She had my other sister when she was 25. And it seemed like once we broke those ages or something, it's like a different version of us emerged. And I think because we were living out the DNA that was encoded for those 25 years we were in her womb prior to being born. So now, me being in the age where I'm turning 32, that generational karma, that generational cycle is no longer locking me to the patterns of the DNA that bred me, if that makes sense. My dad was 29 and I reconciled with him and started awakening, and clearing the karma on that side of the family. And it's time for me to do it on the other side. And the shit is really just clicking now, the extent of it. And I think because of all of the secretive aspects of who my mother was, from girlhood to womanhood, up until she had me, and I could visibly see her, feel her, touch her outside on a physical basis versus in the womb, in the ovary, and all of that, and intuit and, spiritually connect with her. Now this is a different type of connection. Now she is free to speak, free to do, free to say, however the fuck ever. And she's been popping up more than I've ever seen her, and she passed when I was 14. So our connection has been very limited and almost felt restricted. And it would be like she could never speak. She would send us a song here or there. But I really feel like the work that I've been doing, the womb work, the ancestry work, the shadow work, like I said, I haven't done it for another person deliberately because I know how much energy, like I would prescribe a person to be, make sure you can be off for a day or two in a row before we do this, because the shit might have you lay your ass down. Like it may hit you, it may knock your feet from underneath you, like, so I'm off punishment and I'm about to cut the fuck up with with you know, humility and tact and professionalism. Yes, so I love the Mercury retrograde because I can speak. My shit ain't in retrograde natally, but there's like an order of silence at times, and I don't know who's got it. I don't know what entity. I don't know what the fuck it is. It could. I don't know. I don't know. Is something happening, Captain? I don't know. Maybe because Chiron is in Gemini in my chart. But we gonna figure this shit out. Especially with the North Node being in Gemini. I want to dig into this motherfucking energy and find out what's going on. So, all this crown chakra activity. I'm hitting it. I'm hitting it. The ageless. The ageless. Healing, graciousness, acceptance. Because it's the light in the darkness. I like that. I like that a lot. And we have matriarch, mother of homestead. Rejection, opportunities, consequences. Ageless. I've been wanting to get deeper into these cards, but it's like if I travel there, I know the other places I've traveled. I can go there because I've gone there. I can navigate there and I can bring my ass home. I can bring my spirit back to a groundedness where life just resumes and I can do it fairly quickly. I don't have to I gotta go there. I gotta go there. Readings like this I may end up start putting on Patreon because they're going to be in-depth, raw, shadow, light, divine. This is stuff, and that's kind of where I think that vow of silence, order of silence is coming from. Third eye thumping. That's right. There are some things that are not too responsibly, you're not to give to people prior to their readiness, and to put it somewhere where it's readily available to whomever. Though the way my energy is set up, you ain't gonna be here unless you're aligned and ready for what is divine by design. So I can't just take you high without showing you low, the equal and opposite. I really, it's not doing the whole journey justice, because I can tell you the bright, and I can tell you the lightheartedness and the messages, and even this journey of love deck. I don't bring it out often because it gets very, very, very etheric on the high end of vibration, and these here are more, these are densities that, I mean, they do the same thing. They do the same thing. They're just in different planes, but they do the same thing. Every single system is built with the same order. So to have gone to, can I mention this? To have gone where I've gone, I'll say that, and to see it a direct, explicit, not replica, but like a shell of what we see now physically, except the humans aren't dense enough to vibrate that low with those entities. There's a difference. We can't see certain things because of how high they vibrate, but you also can't see things because of how low they vibrate. You can just feel it, and sometimes it feels, it finds you, and you're like, damn, and you can't really ascribe a thing or a reason to it, but it's a very, like, dense and dark, and no, I won't even call it dark. It's just deep, and you don't really have, you can't explain it. I was there. I was there, and I'm just walking around with, um I'm having a conversation. It was Pluto, but he was embodied, like, to make it easy. Like, hey, we're having a whole conversation. And I start handing him pieces. Because we had this cart thing, and we're walking through the city streets, but there's no light. It's not pitch black. It's just there's no visible luminescence. But I can see. This is why it's very important to not always rely on light, to sometimes meditate in pitch blackness, all lights off, no light at all, with your eyes open. It'll get to a point where you won't remember if your eyes are open or closed. You won't have the need to want to blink as often. You have nothing coming in. It's a different type of feel. It's a really a different type of openness. Okay, so I'm handing him pieces, and he's putting them on, and it was like a shoulder pad, like a bicep pad, and pad here, gloves. This is before COVID, okay? Well, before it hit here. This was new to Wuhan and everything. So, I mean, this was around the last eclipse season that we had at the end of December. And the last part that he put on was this mask, and it kind of reminded me of Brian Froud's Fairies, where Sylvanus has to put on the mask in order to see the truth. And that concept was a little weird to me because most of the time people have on masks and they take them off to be seen fully. But this was back asswards. So we're in the shell of a city. I'm seeing the city of Atlanta, the shell of it. All the towers, all the buildings, all the homes, but there's no cars, there's no people, there's no visible light, there's no traffic, there's no life in it. But it's right on, it sits concurrent. When I told you time is concurrent and one timeline sits on top of another, so do the planes. So when people think hell is something that's beneath in reference to down, as in the core of the earth, and heaven is up, and it's in where the planets are, they are concurrent. It depends on where you are on the octave. It's why when people are in depression that they can feel these densities that are oscillating so lowly. And when you're on cloud nine and you're high and you're vibing and this and that, and you can receive all these synchronicities and all these angel messages and feel that warmth and joy. This is why everyone around you can experience your earth and another earth look different. Same planet. One person's in prison and another person is free as they may be to come and go as they please. They have all their justices because this is why the purges are necessary. These are why the awakenings are necessary. This is why the heartbreaks are necessary, to bust the vessel open and take out what's in there that is impure. That's Pluto. That's Scorpio. That's it. I just thought I'd get that out there because there's a lot of pressure. A lot of pressure over here. That's why. That's why I can't speak. I've had a lump in my throat for 2 days. Not a sore throat, not a cough, not a nothing. It felt like a piece of food. And I would drink water. I actually fasted for a couple hours, 36 hours, and I drank adequate water. And it was like, do this, and you're going to spend the day in prayer and meditation, and you're going to talk to those celestial bodies and whatever guides you need to, and ask whatever questions you need to, because it's going to come. And we need you to have a little lighter core so you can catch what we're throwing at you. So that's why I can't speak. That's why I can't record some things. Now, the valuable resources, they did dip because of what was happening. It was like, and I saw that it was necessary because of the tough talk I had to talk, but tough talk I had to have about challenge and compassion, and how compassion can be preyed upon by people who are viscerally nice versus inwardly kind. It is used as a weapon as well. So it kind of, okay. That's not what I'm supposed to be talking about. This is the nature of one half of me that I cannot deny. And it will get dark and it will get deep. But understand who I am. and what I do. The light and the darkness is a very real thing. I got attacked when I was down there and had to call the squad to come get me. Michael and about 5 others. I had called their name 3 times in a row. And when I was like, damn, I called the name of an archangel that I don't really know and I don't reference. And I don't like calling motherfuckers I don't know. Like, my phone not ringing. So I don't make no calls out either. Like, unless it's important, we can chop all that shit in half. No. But if, I don't do the small, don't do the chit chatter. Like it really is like, can we talk about something else? Can we dig into something? Can we investigate something? Can we discover something? Can we ascend into something? Like, can we dive into something? That's more my nature. So to be down there, I had to fight a bitch who had already taken on form down there and accepted the entity that, it's kind of like in exchange for this entity wants out and to be able to sit in, kind of like a walk-in. But this motherfucker got to get, a part of this motherfucker got to get shoved down here and agree to be down here. So this was, like I said, like a shell. There weren't any alive people, alive human beings. There were entities down there. And these motherfuckers was frolicking and naked. Everybody's skin was ashy black. So you couldn't tell the black from the white people. This is why I don't give a fuck on a particular level. When people are trying to reiterate and make me feel a certain type of way about how a person looks visibly and assign shit to them. You don't see them. I can see them, right? Down there, in that vibration, that motherfucker, you couldn't tell. You just had to know that shit ain't right. There's a difference. There's a drastic difference. This is why nobody can pull a race card on me. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Because I see entities and I see spirits. Some people are born to be chaos agents. And I spoke on that today. Some people's purpose in life is to create chaos. Why? Because there are motherfuckers like me that are here to create balance. You think that it could be tipped so far low that the rest of us won't thrive? That we'll die off? Are you serious? Are you serious? Are you serious? You really believe it? Everything is creation. Are you serious? Don't know. So, people are afraid of Scorpios. People are afraid of Pluto. People are, afraid of the dark. People are afraid of boogeymen. People are afraid of, I don't know. There's certain things I won't watch. If I watch gore and different things that have entity attachments to them, I will be fighting those entities. This is why I don't watch them. Because when I know that I'm making myself receptive, I'm going to be approached by this entity and I'm going to have to beat his ass. Send it back where the fuck it came from. And I've had to do that. This is why I'm here now. And I can get into the energy without being attacked. Because I've confronted it so that others don't have to. So if I can dig into these energies and these entities, and I've already established a connection to them, not connection, but an understanding. They don't fuck with me, and I don't fuck with them. They're in their own system, and I am in my own system. I'm not going down there fucking with nobody. I went down there as a visitor, got attacked. Pluto ass thought it was fucking funny and shit because he knew I was gonna be okay anyway. Woke up with scratches. Okay? Shit's real. Came up out of that shit with my whole crown lit up because I'd asked for these archangels. I called on them and they came like a cavalry. I don't call them on my everyday to give me a message about my twin flame. I don't need them for that. I really don't. I need them to help me see, know, and feel when these entities are close and doing harm, or allowing, getting people to accept them so that they can do harm. Entities can't do anything without a physical host, kind of like this virus. It needs a host. It needs a host to live in. It needs a mind to think it and live it and give it form. You see what I'm getting at? Let's go back here. Pluto. The ageless. This was not where this was supposed to go. Don't be doing me any old kind of way. You just Garden. My whole reading. Just be doing shit. I cussed him out when I came out of it too. My whole crown was still lit, and I woke up and I was like my whole body was shaking like this. And you can't, I don't know if you can see it, but, and it was just, my eyes were, like, it was like somebody was shining a fucking light in my eye. My whole body, I was sitting there shaking, and I got up out of it. Hades, why the fuck you take me down there? Like, I was saying it out loud, and then I realized, like, it's 3 in the fucking morning. Was it 3 or was it 5? I wrote it down. I don't know. But it was, man, he tried to take me down there day after Christmas. And for whatever reason, was it day after Christmas? Couple Christmas night. Then the next night, or I gotta go back and look at it. I wrote down the dates and I wrote down what I saw and what I felt and everything. After I came out of that, I went outside. There was a fucking black cat sitting at the end of my walkway. Like there's the patio, and then there's a sidewalk where it would be like a wheelchair ramp to the sidewalk, and it was just sitting there, like in front of my window, but on the sidewalk, just guarding. And that other occurrence where I was about to go down there and I didn't completely go, something jarred me out of my sleep, and I was like, oh, that was the eclipse. I was like, oh, I need to lay down. Like, I was like, no, I need to lay down. Eclipses hit me like that to where I lose all my energy, all of it. Like, that shit hit me, and then I heard rumbling on the porch, and it was 2 cats. They were fighting over my chair. I do a lot of meditating in my chair on the porch that I do those recordings in. And they were fighting over that chair like, bitch, you better move. Like, but it's like, ever since then, I've had cat familiars. And there's one that we decided to keep around. Like, because whatever that shit is, like they were trying to pull me down. Pluto was trying to get my ass there on more than one occasion. And the time I actually agreed to go, and why he looked like a man. He had to show himself like that to me. And I knew he felt familiar, but I didn't know his face. You couldn't really see features or anything like that, and we weren't really talking about anything specific, but he was leading me there. And when he disappeared into the house, and I'm looking into the door, and it's blacker and black, and I really can't see in it. Next thing I know, I'm down in it, down the stairs, and I'm already there. Well, you looked. You wanted to look. You wanted to know. Here you are. And he backed up because he was like, yeah, she ain't really ready. She don't really want to know. But I had been dealing with something in a person that aligned me with those vibrations to see them better, because I was accepting this person knowing the equal and opposite was at present at the same time. So it's like this person is being split in two, and the shit is it's weird. It's weird because I can feel this part of his nature oscillating way up here, and then I can feel the density here, and it's like, how do we meet in the middle? So that's kind of May 30th and 6/16/6/16, those 2 dates. Unbeknownst to me until I went back and looked at some shit that I wrote in February, Valentine's Day actually aligned with the events that happened on those 2 days. And one of them, my trip, Tupac's birthday. So I knew it was some transformational energy. I knew that I was about to kill something, dead a situation, not necessarily a relationship, but an occurrence that keeps looping and looping and looping between the vibrations. It's like this is low, high, low, and I'm like, fuck all that. You fucking up my rhythm, you fucking up my music, you fucking up my flow, all of that. Cease and desist. When I left, I felt like I was traveling into a portal. I really don't have much recollection of the 3 hours that I was driving. I don't remember being focused. I remember being aware, the simple things, speed limit. Here's my drink right there. I couldn't put it on cruise control because then I probably would have drifted into meditation. That's how I needed my feet and my hands to be coordinated to keep me alert. I wasn't tired, but it was a stillness, and I'm just traveling. But I feel like I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. It's a fucking portal. And every time I do it, because I've done it so many times, not that trip. That trip was necessary. It was something that day. The trip was canceled for me a couple days prior to that. And I was actually heading further than where I went. And it was like, you're going. Pluto, you're going. There's no question. There's just action. Aries, North Node, and Jupiter. There's just action. Just go. Okay, going on my trip, and I'm taking my my viewers with me. Out of the comfort zone we go, right? I don't know what that feels like anymore. I don't know what that shit feels like. Like, I don't remember being comfortable there. I just remember being stagnant there. There's a difference. There was no comfort in it. No. It's just the only thing that was happening for a long enough time that you have the muscle memory for it, but it doesn't make it comfortable. So I ain't read a fucking single card. Ageless. Now, see, I was looking in here for this damn I did all that looking and didn't find it. Looking, turning, looking. Put the damn book down, talking. I turn right to the fucking page. Okay. Denied paradise on a matter of law, in spite of her noble life and spirit. The court of Elohim, in their mercy, granted the ageless the power of renewal for herself and others. This allows her to grant healing and succor to those souls suffering from harms inflicted by Abaddon's corruption. She has accepted her lot with graciousness and dignity, preferring a life of service and acceptance of her fate to one of bitterness and despair. Seek the ageless when in need of a healing, a sympathetic ear, or the grace to accept what one cannot change. I distinctly remember Opal Oracle doing a reading for Virgo, and it was about the Serenity Prayer. And she went into it, and then she went to Pisces, and she gave a tidbit about that and talked about the mother. I shit you not. The shit, listen. There's only certain readers that can hit the mark with a Pisces reading and align to my mom. A lot of the other ones are talking about old played out karmic cycles with Pisces that I've known. I don't want to hear that. Don't want to relive that. Don't want to bring that into my reality, my being, my body, my soul, my spirit, my attention, my awareness. So now I let it be picked for me. If I'm going to see another's art, if I'm going to see another person's creativity, they have to be of a divine sustenance. They got to have the inner workings. They got to be made, not for it tough, but they got to be made for it. So I do know the difference. I do know the difference. But this ageless, this is where Good Girl Gone Bad has kind of come up a little bit. But the thing was, she was noble, but someone decided that she wasn't worth it. She was castrated, damn near. You know what I mean? Kind of stripped of the ability to enjoy paradise and just rest and relax after all that nobility and all of that goodwill was still determined by a source outside of herself to not be worth it, to enjoy that. And she took her station with other souls that the same type of shit was decided on, but for different reasons. Reasons that, and actions and things that warranted them being there. This was not the same. This was not the same. Her being there was, it was like a technicality. Those loophole, weird ass type of deals. So being in a position, having to be amongst souls that are not like yours, but I experienced that in jail. I went to jail over an FTA. I had probation over a fucking traffic ticket one time and insurance on another time. So it's like I didn't rob, I didn't steal, I didn't hit and run, I didn't the infraction, infraction, whatever, wasn't criminal, It was a moving violation. It was like, okay, it wasn't considered criminal, but it didn't matter in jail. We were all wearing the same colors. We were all to be treated the same. But I noticed I was not treated the same because I knew who I was. I knew why I was there, and I didn't have the attitude of someone who was upset that they were there, knowing what they did brought them there. I was in full acceptance of, you all said I did something very, very wrong. So I'm here. Don't know how long I'm going to be here, but I'm not going to be bitter and miserable while I'm here. You going to eat that cookie? I do have some cash. Can I go to the vending machine? When do I take my shower? Okay, I'll wait. Oh, y'all got to play a deck of playing cards. I'm about to read the hell out of these cards. Wherever I'm at, that was the acceptance factor. Still noble, still being of the same quality spirit, regardless of environment. It's hard until you've practiced it enough, because there are still souls around you in those environments that need that guidance, because that's what the things current have gotten them there. The redeeming factor is the serenity, is the ability to take on wise counsel when you know that you don't have the capacity to receive it from your team because you aren't there. You can have a conduit in the middle that can actually understand where you are and ascertain the messages from. They can be used as a conduit to get to you, because sometimes they can't get to you. They can't get to you. This is why when a person gets low like that, only the entities that dwell down there have an effect, because they can't hear anything above, and they can barely hear on a human level. Those ears turn off, those volumes turn low. Anything that is kind, positive, uplifting, those things don't resonate with the vibration you're on. You're on a whole different frequency. So, healing, graciousness, acceptance, a whole life of service, even having the dignity, being in there. You don't have to act like a criminal, being in a place where criminals are. You don't have to embody the energy of the environment. And we talked about this with empathy, and we talked about why it's necessary. Boundaries from fortified from you towards others, as well as for others from you. This is why you maintain your dignity and your station. You don't want to give them something that isn't for them. When I was talking about somebody with conflicting entities or conflicting vibrations that were kind of doing a tug of war and pulling in two directions, this is what I mean. So I was going to take this reading in another direction, and Pluto was like, bring that ass here, and brought me to a different vibration in order to perform something that will be beneficial for another person. So if a person is in a low state, they may be a conduit for someone who is in an even lower state, who can hear the resonance and hear the likeness, the attractiveness, in order to bring them up. And then you have someone who is at a different vibration, a little higher up, that can reach that person to bring them up. Now there's a chain. There's a chain of redemption. Where did that come from? Damn, Pluto. Good gracious. there's all this ball, and it's like it's coming out, the energy, and then when I stop talking, it's like, and it swells back up with more. It's this is something else. This is something else. Matriarch. Well, I want to see. Okay, the ageless. There's these totems, not totems. Where's my magnifying glass? I'm not putting on my pearl right now. Okay, there are these symbols at the bottom, and they're almost like suits, and the matriarch has a more Egyptian like symbol. And so with the ageless, that is the realm of Shoal. Like Urkala, the realm of Shoal is concerned with bright and dark dualities. I thought I tried to told you. It's kind of what I am. Leo is the sun, and I'm placed, that moon, that inner is placed in one of the darkest spaces. Well, I have some things in the 12th house too that are kind of gnarly, but I like it. I like it. I like it. And Neptune on my first, so it's like I'm sun in the ninth. I'm gonna get into it. Let's get into it, right? Where Urkala focuses on the emotional experience, however, Shoal concerns the extremes of human sin and holiness. Come on, man. Come on. To dwell in Shoal is to submit to the judgment of the Absolute, to suffer between the difficult requirements of grace and the easy torments of corruption. And to have the courage to discover where you fall in your overall contribution of good to the world or evil. Okay. That's that's what the fuck I've been talking about. Am I missing something? Or my eyeballs like, okay, the dominion of duet, right? Yeah, okay, because I saw the Egyptian. Okay, duets. There's a dot in the angelarium. I wonder if they'll show it. Okay, the dominion of duet is the center of secrets, ritual, and mystery. In its temples and desert monuments, the true nature of being. I just had a flashback. The night them cats were outside the window, I actually went down to I was in the middle of a temple, and I don't know where. It was like, it was dark in there, but there were torches. It didn't feel like a pyramid. It felt like it was Aztec or Mayan or older. Some kind of initiation. Oh shit. Here we go with the rituals. I was never a big fan of rituals. to be honest. I have my reasons. I really feel like the practice of ritual, not practice, like people have their rituals that they do every day when they wake up and all that. I'm talking about real ritual shit. It's a calling, a bloodline, lineage, birthright calling. I don't, you're not gonna have me picking up somebody's graveyard dirt. That's not my work. That's not my niche. I'm not stepping in that lane, and it's not for me. I was not guided into that lane. I have no business there. So the things I encounter there, I will not have the protection, right? So why purposely put yourself in crosshairs, being ill prepared, uninvited, unexpected? You show up at my house unexpected, we're gonna have a problem. Isn't it simple? So I just a side note, I see people relegating it to race two, like you can't do this and you can't do that. A lot of y'all motherfuckers can't do nothing. You weren't told. You saw some shit and wanted to do some shit and try some shit, but you weren't innately versed or initiated into this line of practice. Not everybody who can pick up a scalpel should be a surgeon. You see what I'm saying? We don't play with things that don't concern us. We are called to do certain things. So here I'm understanding where my call came, and I've been unconsciously putting in energy towards. You see what I'm saying? And because I received the initiation, but now doing my own, by my conscious decision to begin a ritual, I started to receive what comes with learning this particular art and practice. Where it's taking me specifically can differ for another person. Truth be told, there are so many different civilizations and areas that require different types of ritual. But the fact that it came up, and I'd come across the ritual before, the 33-day ritual, and was like, nah, not for me. No. Interesting. I could do it, but it's not for me. I'm being told, not while everybody else did it, right now. I don't care where the fucking moon is. Do it right now. Subsequent, subs. Well, I'm using words I don't use. Subsequently? What? Seems like it's legit though. Okay, the moon was in Scorpio. I didn't find out till later. So I've just been immersed in this energy. Though it's not there, now I can speak on it. But when I was there, I just had to feel it and know it and see it and acknowledge and accept the ageless. I had to accept. I always wanted to do, I always want to help people. And this is, but how? Sometimes being in the dark with others and then turning on your light, you're helping others. So going to these depths and going to these lows, the work I do here, no heartbreak can touch me. That's so superficial, so joyful to understand those endings, to understand that even now, if it attempts to happen again, as far as like a heartbreak or something like that, there's no attachment to the superficial type of love that people are producing. My voice cracked. So it's like, motherfucker, you don't know I'm fighting entities in my sleep on your behalf, and you want to play me, or you want to talk shit, or you want to go goes, or you want to run in circles, you know, because that doesn't mean the work discontinues. It means I cut off physical contact with your motherfucking ass, and I get to doing what the fuck I got to do, which is work on these things. And it may be concerning you if it comes up. It can be concerning someone else who can see me as an enemy. And I don't have the bias of the human judgment to deny the work. I do. You can have somebody walk into your establishment and deny them service. They don't have any shoes. You can, be at a restaurant, somebody's being rude to you, and you can refuse their to serve them. There's so many biases and judgments that we can have on this plane, but down there and up there, those vibrations, they don't give a fuck. They don't care. They don't care. And that's where I'm at all times. That's where I'm at all times. This is what keeps my gift giving. This is what keeps my gift active. This is what keeps it pure. This is what keeps it genuine. This is what keeps it abundant for those, and I can see it in my everyday life. I don't even realize I'm doing it now. I'm just having a conversation. I'm speaking to a human, but my spirit speaking to their spirit. And it's to either pull them up or to confirm that they're not the only one who's feeling, seeing, and knowing. To delve into what is to face the realities. Okay, no, let me back up. I'm gonna read it all over again. None of this shit's looking familiar. The domain of In.Tu.It is the center of secrets, ritual, and mysteries. In its temples and desert monuments, the true nature of being, reality, and creation are hidden, unlocked only through adherence to its rites and rituals. Locked. These are locked arts, okay? These are locked and protected arts. You break in Fort Knox, you're going to get the guns. To dwell in In.Tu.It is to face the realities most hide from most thoroughly. How well do you know yourself, your desires, and whether your heart and intentions are pure? For In.Tu.It, these will surely be judged. That's the dominion of In.Tu.It. That's the purpose of this particular. And when I said there's systems just like this one, it's like being in the Americas, right? North America, South America. You have territories. I'll say it like that. The picture in my mind was the Airbender, how they had the nations. Pan, Pansona. So, and they each had their own space to do their own thing, and it was very like you didn't get too much moving, and we We got our borders, we got our boundaries. And those two were practices to be in those territories. There were certain things accepted, certain things not. That's anywhere you go, no matter the vibrational space. There's certain things that you adhere to. That man put that mask on. I saw the truth, boy. Shit. The matriarch, mother of Homestead, a noble queen, the matriarch lived a righteous life, free from sins that would weigh her heart when she came before the scales of Anubis, save one, the memory of which was lost to her. In their hubris, she and her king denied the gods of duet, the worship and fealty that was their right, incurring their wrath even unto death. Given this, she was cast into the desert, where she established a homestead, a refuge for other wanderers, exiles, and lost ones. The matriarch reminds us that while there are some mistakes from which there is no redemption, maintaining a core of self, nobility, and dedication to right behavior will nonetheless provide opportunities, even if it is not the original plan. There is no sense in falling prey to personal disappointment. Your true value will be seen and understood by others. Whoa. Again. Fuck. This feels real personal. This feels real personal. It's not a lot of people who are going to resonate with my energy, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. It's not for everybody. I kind of protect myself that way. I can't do the superficial thing, and I don't attract it. I don't attract. I do attract people who are ready. Reading that, I felt that. And I don't know if that's what I'm supposed to be remembering about myself. But it fucking feels like it. This is why I can feel both. I could have very well have been in the position of these two very similar motherfuckers elsewhere. Go back. Do it again. But you never lose the purity of, you know what I mean? We can be judged on things because a person perceives it a particular way. But when it really comes down to it, the morality of humans and the morality of spirit is two different things. So, this is where we are. She got a sunflower on her head. Sunflower, like in the Queen of Wands and the sun. And her eyes are glowing. Okay. I want to finish with the mausoleum, then look at these dark mirror. Because I'm very comforted by the messages in these this Oracle of Souls. Very comforting. They're both holding staffs. They're both in the places they're in, though they were noble, dependable, devoted, give service to others, the lowly. Okay, okay, okay. Y'all ain't lowly, okay? I work in this customer service, retail. You see people belligerent over toilet paper. Not much anymore. Now it's something else. It's aluminum foil and alcohol. But the way I've turned the energy of the place around, we don't do that here. They don't even bring it. A man came in the other day and he was pissed off. I was handling, I was doing business with a customer who was in line. Well, I was, this man walked in from the wrong direction and attempted to, jump in my line. It's like, sir, you're not next. Once I handle this young man, I'll be right with you. Either one of us. And he was having a fit. So I helped my customer put his things. He paid and left. And the man was like, he was ready to be confrontational. And then he met me. What can I get for you? Okay, whatever you want. I can do that for you. Not pacifying, but I'd be glad to help you. And he was, I asked him, I was like, are you okay? And he said, no, I'm not okay. Said, what did I do? Said, it wasn't even you. I'm not even mad. I'm not mad about that. I said, oh, okay. You gonna let it steal your joy today? No, man, it's my motherfucking birthday. And right. So you should be celebrating your life. Fuck that. By the time he left, he was just a little bit lighter. Happened the other night. Had a customer come in and we talked. He was upset. Oh, I hope I didn't put my nipple in the camera. He was upset, and I've never seen him in that state. Heartache. But gave me a shirt. He said that the divine has been working with him to make them. And the shirt says, your adornment must not be merely external, braiding the hair and wearing gold jewelry or putting on dresses, but let it be the hidden person of the heart with the imperishable quality, imperishable quality of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is precious in the sight of God. 1 Peter 3:4. Pluto did not like that. I won't say that. I'll say there's a tug of war right now. I'm supposed to be here. And I'm giving a message about something that was given from there. Hopefully, it's a different resonance. I can feel the shit in my body. I feel it like focus, focus, focus. Okay. Mother of Dawn. Beauty, agency, compassion. All of these women have a hand out We go from the ageless, who is a woman, matriarch, mother of dawn. These are in 3 different suits. And lastly, from a different suit, this is covering all corners. The thinker, the father of knowledge, instruction, reinvention. These are all suits. That sounds like some magician shit to you? I swear I got this blinking shit going on around me. That's a white wall. Listen. Okay. It's just long already. Okay. The kingdom of Hades. The realm of Hades is next to pandemonium, pandemic, right? The most mortal of the domains next to pandemonium. This is perhaps due to the intensely human nature of the gods that dwell in and adjacent to it. To dwell in Hades is to express the care of the dead for the living, the inevitability of human nature, and the possibility of change, even past the point of no return. Mother of Dawn, the emissary. Once a mortal woman of legendary beauty, the Mother of Dawn now represents the populace of Hades, communicating their interest to the powers of the realm. In life, her beauty was used as a prize to be granted to others for their deeds and valor, irrespective of her own wishes. In death, she is free of those constraints and chooses to exercise the agency that she denied in life denied in life in service of others. The mother service of others. The Mother of Dawn illuminates the path of compassion and kindness, demonstrating that the difference between service and servitude is the power to choose. Crown chakra on that one. It is in this power and ensuring that it is available to all that true beauty is found. I've lived all these lives. Not that they were physical incarnations, but I've been in every single one of their shoes. And now the masculine principle, the part of me that is dominant as the thinker, the father of knowledge. This could be a guide, not necessarily something I'm embodying. These symbols. Okay. The Republic of Pandemonium. This is where the thinker resides. Okay. The city of Pandemonium and its surrounding lands belong not to the gods, but to the archons of human achievement. These icons bound themselves in life not to gods or faiths, but to human ideals, becoming idols and objects of veneration in their own way. To dwell in pandemonium is to still be bound by the temporal goals and abilities of a human life, whether the glory of success or the haunting specter of failure. The thinker, the father of knowledge. The thinker is formidable. I just read that word today. Formidable. I've always loved that word. First time I heard it and really resonated with it, I was playing Professor Layton's Diabolical Box on my Nintendo DS. And the word formidable just, it stirs me for some reason. And then I read it today in a post that someone made, and I was like, oh, that word. I don't know. I love words to a certain extent. I gotta look this one up. The thinker's formidable intellect has persisted even into the afterlife, and he has no illusions about who or what he was in life or in death. His will and reason form the foundations of the city's district around him, and he uses his knowledge to instruct those who come to his university of the mind. Welcome. The thinker teaches us that there is no state in which and from which we cannot learn, and that often the best way to improve is to teach and exchange knowledge with others. I just talked about that. Okay. That's I'm not putting these back in the deck. I'm gonna work with these. I'm gonna work with these and get to know them on a whole different level. All of their heads have adornments specifically in the third eye area. Her eyes are glowing and she's veiled. This is like high priestess vibe. My Italian deck, the Porta de Celeste, the door to the stars, or the portal to the stars, door to the stars. The high priestess is veiled. She has headdress, right? The matriarch, her whole face. Damn near her whole face. These masks, they have coverings. Even in their truth, they're veiled. The truth is so bright and so real. Even if it's a dark truth, that's why it's veiled. Doesn't matter if it's the positive or people consider it not so positive. It's the truth that is veiled because of the sight of it. Wow. Pluto, Hades, right? That's a symbol for Saturn, Pluto right there. I didn't even notice that. If I had not given him the pieces and him put them on in front of me and veil himself, I wouldn't have been able to go in to see the truth. It's weird. It's weird. I'm trying to, in my mind, I'm trying to, oh, okay. You get to a point where you're so vocal on the truth that it oversaturates, right? So nobody knows what to believe. There's so much information out where you have to sift and sort and figure out what is the truth. And people are like, well, I wouldn't be speaking up if it wasn't. Those who have ears will hear you. There's a certain way that you have to visibly veil for people to seek the truth through you. it's almost like I'm starting to understand my lessons. I mean, certain occurrences, certain patterns of behavior, I'm starting to really understand what it was necessary for. The truth is so precious. Not that there's a fear of the truth. It is so precious that only those who, like, I don't know. I don't know. I wouldn't say they're living the opposite of their truth. Their truth is wherever they are. They're fully aware of what they are and what they're doing and where they, what they have to continue to do. Whether alive or dead, they still are doing that thing. The veil, I don't think anybody else knows the difference. Nobody else knows the truth of it. So it's almost like they're hidden in plain sight. Oh, his mind is wide the fuck open. His cradle cap is open. Open and receptive. That man's got scrolls. And a feather pen. Notebooks and notebooks and notebooks. Okay, I got a lot of work to do. Oh my God. It's like a new life. It's like a new life. Vent, caretaker of the lost. This is another one from Hades. Um, Hades domain. It says respite, assistance, memory. What's that in her hand? What's that on her third eye? She's got a skull in one hand. Oh, eyes are covered. Wings? Okay, okay. I'm gonna wrap this up in a little bit. This is the second listing after Hades. The caretaker of the lost. Vanth guides the dead who become sidetracked or misled to their proper places. An agent of Hades' mercy. She helps him recall that which they most need to know about themselves to continue on in the afterlife. Benevolent and dedicated, Vanth provides that which is most needed at the point where it is most needed. She inspires us to trust those we depend on, and that the tools which will aid us will be there, or will be easily found at the critical moment. It is important to rest, to breathe, and not to give in to panic and fear. Thank you. Bride in a cage, an artificial heart. to me, this, okay, this is like the masculine and feminine aspects. I shit you not. I did speak of magician energy in my bracelet. My bracelet was sitting on the ground like this when I looked down. Wow. I didn't even know that was on the floor. Okay. So, bright and occasion, artificial heart. First thing I got was masculine and feminine. Calm down. Calm down. Okay. We have the number 21 and the number 12. It is mirroring. Right? This is why it's necessary that I read these last. Because with all this benevolence in these archetypes, these souls here that decide to come through with Hades, bust through the membrane and really lay down some information. Now, to know that there is this, people think you do a thing or you have certain types of traumas or you've lived a certain type of life that you're just forgotten. No, no. There's hierarchy everywhere. There's order everywhere. There's chaos everywhere. Even in higher vibrations, there's war. So here you have these support systems through these different souls that I'm feeling such resonance with. I'm feeling a lot of alignment with them. And is tripping me out, man. It's tripping me out. Right? So to have these two variations of, they're not necessarily female or male, but they're two ideas that exist at once. Okay, consider you have a bride in a cage. She looks like she's been waiting forever to be in a union, to be with a like soul, to be contented as a wholeness, right? And then you have the other aspect that is artificial heart. This could talk about the reptilian part of the brain that we're trying to reprogram. This can talk about this whole heartless culture that we have. This can speak to the part of you that has to veil in your environment who you are. But it's too different in one regard to come off as heartless, that you've never been hurt. Though people can tell or can sense that hurt has occurred, you don't wear it. You don't, that's not something that is mention worthy or not something you dwell in. Okay, it's just something that has marred you, that has scarred you, that has marked your skin, whatnot. So this is blocking sight. Artificial heart is blocking sight. And this can be attachments to things that are artificial, superficial, that superficial shit I was talking about. Things that are fabricated, contrived, things that have no real premise on the spiritual plane. I mean, you can be attached to these things in the physical plane, but I said it just today. I have been stripped more than once of everything I own, besides my physical body and my child. Okay, like I've only been left with minimal that was necessary. And it came back up because now it is time to do that process again. And now I see that those were, give me a second. Okay. Like a calm down rub. Okay. Let me get back to it. These souls interact different. You know, they interact different. They catch my attention differently. Those 213s that I saw were surrounded around a difficulty that, had I not been able to see through the chaos or the pandemonium, the pandemic, being out in public and having this blocked, I would not have seen what was visible. I had to veil in order to, if I would have flipped and shown, then I would have deterred the passage. Like it's like I had to cover to show that I was in truth. Like having to bury my grandfather and I couldn't speak unless I put something on my head. It was like, this shows you're worthy, your divinity. This shows your position. I felt offended. So I can see how that could have been a blockage. You know, if you don't have this adornment, then you're not able. I get it now. I get it now. But it's flipping everything else that I thought I knew. It's flipped it upside down. And I got that message a long time ago, so I'm looking in a duet type of way when it was more. Shit. I want to go not bride in the cage first. I'm gonna do artificial heart first. I should have been holding those other cards up so you could see them better. But moon phases. But that's not it either. Wait, artificial heart. It's a new moon. Okay, this is something that we've already had, or it's coming at the end of July if you want to wait, or where it aligns to. Artificial heart stage bargain. If I don't feel the warmth of the sun, will I blame the sun or myself? When that eclipse happened, didn't know how heavily that's our source of light, right? Of that's where we get our energy, our physical energy from. Besides, water, maintaining and this and that, our heat source. That motherfucker eclipsed, and it happens every time. I gotta lay the fuck down. I gotta lay down. That that thing on her head, man. In the eyes, I can't see. In the throat. Okay. Artificial heart. A female figure, an android or a robot or an iPhone. No, I'm just kidding. I just added that in there. With cyber lines traveling over the skin like gentle spiders. A black choker of feminine servitude. And jade eyes of futuristic indifference. I had this conversation today. Not only was my niece Jade on my mind heavy, I've been talking about her for a minute. She's coming through some too, along with my mom. I keep a jade crystal in my pocket. when I'm at work. But that word servitude is coming up. We have service, and a lot of these are aligned with service. But the mother of Dawn was caught between living a life of service and knowing the difference between service and servitude, giving so much of oneself that it became an object to be bargained. Don't mind me, I'm tripping out. This is hitting on levels that I didn't. Bride in a cage, moon phase, waning crescent, stage, denial. She's got something in her cleavage, but it's a mannequin. Bride in a cage. Tomorrow will be the right moment. Tomorrow will be better, even if today is hell. Stage denial. A gorgeous white wedding dress shines through the neon gray artificial light of the evening. It is worn by a mannequin with a dissociated skeleton head. It seems like a happy place, if not for the light. The mannequin stares at the outside with a purple laser grid, while a purple laser grid cage holds it in. Did we die waiting for the perfect day? Or were we never alive? They have some, oh, I didn't even see that part. It says going dark and it takes you there. Okay. Artificial heart. Once upon a time, it was a time of flying monkeys. Someone journeyed to a place that wasn't Kansas in order to gain a heart. Oh, such a charming old-fashioned fairy tale. A new heart can be bought on the internet now and be delivered in a couple of days with a brand new shiny instruction manual. It works too. It gets the job done. It's not a job of feelings, it's scripted, like a job of numbers. Actually, it feels like a trade-off. We find refuge in the rational mind, which in turn gives us back the illusion of control. But we still feel, we still long to live through our emotions fully. We are truly like an artificial knight that wants to become a real person. Happiness is not in numbers, but it's not because numbers are bad. It's because there is nothing that alone can grant happiness and guarantee it. We trade in the natural world for artificiality, and then we blame this choice as the reason why our sky has no color. What if it's not actually connected? What if it's just an excuse? What if even an artificial heart could beat and fall in love and drown in sorrow? The masculine side. Hmm. Don't believe me, just watch. What? Okay. I don't know what you got broadcasting over here. Bride in a cage, going dark, right? When we put the good of our life just in our expectations, we can dismiss the present, waiting for the dawn we know will arrive. The future becomes a shopping cart. It needs a bit of this, a bit of that, a few kilograms of that, and also a couple of boxes, uh, another this. When we look at it, it shines like a brand new day in a commercial. And it happens with commercials, when the future comes, it's not exactly perfect. The smile is forced, the day is too hot or too cold, the kiss is dry, the lion limps softly. It doesn't roar. As long as something is not there, but is pushed further along the timeline, we have the luxury to take it off of reality and treat it as is, as treat it as a fantasy. We push forward and we push forward until we actually catch up with our dream, and then we crush. The future should not feel like a cage, not even a gilded, wonderful, handmade designer cage. The future is a tree, gnarled, rough to the touch, full of flowers only in spring, dense and damp through the rain, absolutely imperfect. These two mirror the fuck out of each other because they want the same thing. My gatekeepers, that's what I just heard in my head. My gatekeepers. I love you guys. I work with these more, and I don't know. They really had me like, oh, you can get to know me. I was doing research and I was reading and I was resonating and I was knowing and I was learning and I was understanding and I was seeing them in I was seeing them in action. So there's some archangels in here too. Okay. Some different. I've never really gotten acquainted with these two that deeply. Never really had to. And I'm my throat, man, my throat. It was like spasming. Okay. Chatiel, right? Oh, my whole back is lit up right now. It's like Chatiel, angel of silence. Words fail, the wind dies, the earth comes to a rest. Chatiel descends in stillness, new forms for all things emerge, touched by the elusive fingers of the angel Chatiel. Space fills the silence, and void gains new meaning. We are held still by the grip of its presence. Fear is useless, and its presence is almost always brief. Silence slides over your ears, enveloping your awareness completely, as if you've closed your eyes. Take a moment, take the silence within you, and use it to still the tremors of your soul. Chatiel wills it, a feather, a chair, a person kneeling. A feather like a feather pen. They're working together to do the same shit in different vibrational places. That moment of silence when I could have went off the other day at the store, 213, the other day with a customer who was completely lost, and I had to reel him back and send him away with different attitude because that shit would have leaped on anybody else who was receptive. I had to pause and rotate everything and deliver something like a damn package. I've never understood that card. I mean, I've seen it, I've read it, but I've never felt it. And I can feel where I have felt it now that I'm actually resonating. Left leg, hard, submission. The eighth emanation, the force that abides. Hard is what guides us when we surrender ourselves to the flow of fate and let our destiny guide our motion. Through her light, we see the boundlessness of glory. Waving our hands through the wind, we feel the air pull us upward. It's only by resigning ourselves to the forces around us that we truly experience the nature of those forces. The golden orb shines a radiant light upon our shoulders, supporting the pillar of severity. Ha does not press back against the weight of the tree. Instead, she simply lets it pass through her, flowing like water down into the lowest portion of the diagram. Through the two opposing characteristics of Had and Netzah, relinquishing and resisting, we gain the power to move. Together they form the power to carry ourselves through the world with grace and intention. Prayer, nature, mysteries. I was in prayer and meditation all day yesterday, day before yesterday. Tuesday here where I am, for my international viewers. Belinda, hi Belinda. Yeah, so I get it. I get it. I wanted to record, I wanted to go here, I wanted to go there, I wanted to do this and do that. Like, no, not today. Matumbo style. Sit your ass down, Shatiel. Submit. When I started the 33-day ritual, I chose to submit to the energies, to the mission, to the birthright, to what I'm meant to do. But it wasn't until I was silent that it became so audible. And I noticed that every time I was stripped, it was so that I could hear. Like when you're driving, you're trying to find numbers for an address, and you're driving, you're kind of lost. You turn the radio down so you can see better. Like that. Can't explain it. But to have avoided, if you can't do it yourself, it'll happen to you, for you. Okay? Trust me. I know. So everything was voided, canceled, null and void. This shit got to go. You can't take it with you. And that's when it was like, I hear it. Because the echo sound is bouncing, vibration of bouncing, and you gonna get one of these ricochets. Like, so I really don't want to. I'm gonna hit the Florida water on my hands real quick. My toe. I'm gonna hit this Florida water on my hands, and then I'm gonna use my traditional my traditional deck. Tonight's not a night for something muerte. This is not that. That has its own vibe. I got the Oracle and the Tarot with those two. With that artist, I really like it. Let's just see. What do we need to focus on with this? Oh my God, 2 hours. 2 hours. I'm talking y'all for 2 hours. That's how my personal readings be so. I've been trying to put a time limit. You're going to get what I give you, okay? But what I ain't going to do is shortchange you. It's hard. It's hard. Hard to limit when a message has to be spoken. Like, that's why I know if I don't have the time to dedicate to it, I can't give it to you half-assed. I just can't. It's not often that I can sit and have these 2-hour conversations. I get really self-conscious about it because everything's so hot and ready, like a fucking Little Caesars nowadays. You can't even, you know what I'm saying? Whatever. I need to see. I'm gonna go back and look and see when I actually started pulling cards. I did a lot of talking in between there too. So when I started pulling cards, about 40-something minutes, 44 minutes or so, I'm gonna go back, look, and confirm, and I'm gonna timestamp it. Well, if you're hearing it, don't matter. They don't really want to shuffle for me like that. One more. I will strip you of everything. And the 2 cards I saw before that when I split the deck, Ace of Wands and the Star. Not playing. What's the message that we need to know moving forward? 2 majors. Everything is upright, but you see, I don't know if you saw that card flip. The World. So the song that came to me the other day, every song said the same thing. Dotry, it's not over. And I gotta link it in the description. Chariot. The hardest this message is conflict ridden because it's showing you the nature, your nature is not in vain. It's what you're here to do. It's almost looking at these archetypes. They're good archetypes and not so good places, and situations on purpose, for purpose. And that's where the reward comes, because they can still be and do noble, dependable service, guidance, help, assistance with people that others have given up on, will dismiss. You have been assigned a particular group, type, afflicted people, brides in cages, artificial hearts. And I was saying masculine, feminine, that's not your energy. It's the energy of the people you're dealing with that you can't for the life of you figure out. If you're so good and you're so high and you're so evolved and awakened, then why are these people able to infiltrate and wreak this havoc or do these things that influence these feelings? What is the purpose? So you can do your job. Wow. It's not over. Because you need both of them for passage. But I knew that already. I knew that. My heart is wet. It's a realization. Now that's a death. 213 on this video. So just that, okay, I get it.